One thing that obviously springs to mind is Facebook rolling out this complete clone feature of check-ins. And was that a big inflection point for you? It certainly seemed like it to me as a user, because people started checking in on Facebook where it used to be you checked in on Foursquare and then posted it to Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, I had spent a bunch of time with Mark like that spring. He was here in New York and I'd fly out there because they were interested in buying the company. And I was like, I sold a company before and it was crappy and I did not have a great experience. And then I left and I had to start the same company again. And it was like, well, that's not going to happen here. And so, Mark was like, if you guys don't end up here, like, we're probably just going to end up doing something like this. It's a feature, like, we'll build it into our app. And I remember, like, we knew that was coming. It wasn't a surprise. It wasn't bad luck. But I remember, like, we watched that keynote and we watched them announce it. And, having to get up in front of the team, which might have been like, 50 people, 60 people at the time, and give a pep talk, like, just off the top of my head. And the vibe of the talk was like, they can copy everything that we've done, but they can't copy what our roadmap is. And our roadmap was that, epiphany we had at Google. You should never have to check in. A check-in button is stupid. The phone should just know where you are. And then based on where you are, the map gets smarter, right? Like, that's obviously how it's going to go. Like, that is what we're going to build. Like, will Facebook try to do that? They'll copy all the stuff that we'll do, but we will always be one step ahead. And I remember giving that like pep talk to people at Foursquare, and people at Foursquare at that time, like, they still remember that. Like I remember that, they remember that. The whole thing, like, you don't remember what people said, they remember how you made them feel, right? I've heard the stories that people in the room remembered how that made them feel, that we were still gonna win, and that we could still do this. And that was, yes, it took a hit, right? But at the same time, it kind of like legitimized the category. Check-ins are a thing, and we are a check-in company, and we are now maybe the second biggest check-in app on the planet now that, Facebook is doing their thing. All that stuff was kind of tough. But that was the summer, like, yeah, Facebook did it first, but then Google started doing it. And then Yelp was like, we have check-ins, and you can be the Duchess of a place. And I was like, guys, that is like shameless. But if there's a silver lining in like the Foursquare consumer story, I think it's like all of these apps are better because we were all competing at the time. Like, if you go into Google and you see that thing, it's like, what are the popular hours? Like, that's a feature that's ripped off of Foursquare. Like, we did that. The automatic history, where are the places you've been? Like, we did that. Little mini reviews that aren't long Yelp things. We invented like a lot of the stuff in the category here, and which makes its way through 1,000 other internet products. Foursquare is like 16 years old now. And, a company has had like a long period of like ups and downs in terms of valuation, in terms of like perception in the market. A company does, north of $100 million in revenue, profitable companies, 400 people, a bunch of offices. Like, I don't work there anymore. I'm on the board. But it's just, I don't know, just part of the long journey.